In the world of mixed martial arts, time bends for no one, not even legends. But few moments in UFC history froze time quite like December 28, 2013, the night Anderson Silva's leg shattered against Chris Weidman. That sound, that single sickening crack, wasn't just bone-breaking. It was the collapse of an empire, the fall of the Spider. For years, Silva ruled the middleweight division like a sorcerer of violence. 16 straight UFC wins, a record-breaking title reign, and a style that made opponents look like they were fighting a phantom. But when that leg snapped, so did the illusion of invincibility. Yet, what if it never happened? What if Anderson Silva's leg never broke that night? What if the Spider kept weaving his web, chasing redemption, rewriting destiny? Tonight, we enter that alternate universe, the world where Anderson Silva never fell. Imagine the Spider still spinning. No gruesome injury, no sudden end. Only fury, precision, and legacy. Because in this timeline, Anderson Silva doesn't crumble. He rises, and the greatest striker in UFC history keeps his empire alive. It's late 2013. The MMA world is still reeling from Silva's shocking knockout loss to Chris Weidman at UFC 162. The night arrogance or maybe artistry cost him his belt. The rematch, UFC 168, is meant to be redemption, a legend correcting history. In reality, it became tragedy. But in this timeline, the kick lands clean. Weidman checks it, but Silva's shin holds strong. No break, no agony. The fight continues. Weidman tries to capitalize, pushing forward with heavy pressure, but Silva's composure returns. He starts flowing again, feinting, slipping, countering. The crowd roars as the Spider weaves his rhythm back into the fight. By round 3, Silva's timing sharpens. Weidman lunges and bam! A right cross lands flush on the jaw. The champion wobbles. Silva smells blood. The predator is back. A flurry. A knee to the body. Anderson Silva, the legend once thought finished, reclaims his throne with a spectacular knockout. The crowd erupts. Joe Rogan can barely speak. The king of the middleweights is back. Anderson Silva's redemption becomes the biggest story in MMA. He's 39, ancient by fighting standards, but his aura returns. He dedicates the win to his fans, saying, "The Spider is alive." Dana White beams. Pay-per-view numbers skyrocket. The middleweight division suddenly looks terrified again. 2014 begins with a new chapter. Anderson defending against rising stars. First up, Lyoto Machida, his friend and fellow Brazilian, turned challenger. The matchup is respectful, but electric. Silva edges him out in a 5-round striking chess match, smooth, technical, and patient. A masterclass. Next, Vitor Belfort demands revenge. This time the rematch feels personal. But Silva, calm as ever, finishes Belfort again. Not with a front kick, but a spinning elbow that becomes an instant highlight reel moment. He's now 36-4. Undefeated since the Weidman loss that never happened. The Spider's web stretches wider than ever. But something else brews beneath the surface. A collision course with destiny. Because while Silva rules the middleweights, a storm brews one division above. Jon Jones, the young, untouchable light heavyweight champion, begins to be mentioned in the same breath as Anderson. Fans debate, who's the real GOAT? In this alternate world, that question demands an answer. It's 2015. Dana White announces what fans have only dreamed of. Anderson Silva versus Jon Jones. Champion versus champion. The greatest striker versus the most versatile talent in MMA history. Legacy versus evolution. The fight is booked at a 195-pound catchweight. The world stops. Training camps buzz with intensity. Jones calls Silva the legend who made me believe in greatness. Silva responds with calm fire. Every king meets his student one day. Fight night arrives. UFC 200, Las Vegas. A dream made real. Round 1. Jones presses early, using his reach and wrestling. Silva circles, patient, countering with kicks to the body and oblique strikes. It's chess at lightning speed. Round 2. Silva lands a flying knee that rocks Jones, shocking the world. The crowd explodes. Jones recovers, clinches, and starts grinding, trying to slow the rhythm. Round 3. Both men trade brilliance. Jones's spinning elbows meet Silva's head movement and counter-punching. Every second feels mythical. By round 4, both are bleeding, exhausted, yet smiling. Round 5, the final stand. Jones shoots, Silva sprawls. A perfect knee lands as Jones changes levels. For a moment, time stops. Jones collapses. Anderson Silva, at 40 years old, knocks out Jon Jones. The octagon becomes chaos. Commentators lose their minds. The Spider, once broken in another universe, now becomes the only man to defeat Jon Jones. Silva collapses in tears, shouting to the sky, "This is for all who said I was done." That single win reshapes MMA forever. Silva now holds claim to the most legendary career in UFC history. Longest title reign, double division champion, a win over the undefeated prodigy. Analysts debate if anyone can ever surpass him. Dana White calls him the Michael Jordan of MMA. Anderson defends his throne one last time against a young Israel Adesanya, the next generation striker who grew up idolizing him. The torch fight. In this alternate reality, the story is poetic, the old master versus the student. Adesanya fights brilliantly, landing slick combinations, but Silva's timing, wisdom, and counterpunching are too much. In round 4, Silva lands a front kick, the same one that made him a legend years before, and Adesanya falls. The Spider bows over his fallen student, helping him up. He whispers, "Your time will come." After that, Anderson Silva retires, not broken, not forgotten, but fulfilled. He leaves with a record of 38-4, champion across eras, remembered as the artist who turned fighting into poetry. His statue stands outside the UFC headquarters. His highlights become lessons for every fighter who follows. And most importantly, his story never ends in pain, but perfection. Because in this universe, there's no broken leg, no silent exit. Only a legend who lived out every ounce of his greatness. And maybe that's the beauty of this what if. It reminds us that even in defeat, reality gave us something precious, the humanity behind the legend. But in this alternate world, the Spider never fell. He flew forever.